Hi guys, this tutorial will give you a video tutorial on how you would create the UBD screenshot videos that are due in week 2 for UBD stage 1, week 4 for UBD stage 2, and week 6 for UBD stage 3. The first thing you want to do is you have to purchase Camtasia. The second thing I would recommend is going to the TechSmith website, which is the parent company for Camtasia, and going and clicking on sign in and creating an account, because there are online assets that you can get access to by creating an account. The next thing you would want to do is the video that you're going to create should be only about 8 to 10 minutes, but oftentimes they run longer. So to avoid that stress, and you'll be doing lots of videos throughout the program, is going to YouTube and changing the default properties of where it's normally cuts off at 15 minutes and sets it so that you can have much longer videos. So I've got the URL in the directions and the step-by-step instructions, and you're going to go to this youtube.com verify, and it will verify your account, and it basically gives you unlimited length. I did it about 8 to 10 years ago, and you really never have to renew. Then you have to prepare and get ready. So you're going to launch the application of what you want to do a screenshot recording. Basically, it's recording whatever is open on the screen. In this case, what you want to record is the UBD template, the blank template. I want you to record generic information. You're explaining to people about what UBD is about. Don't use the one that you've been creating in class with your course information. You should be using a blank one, because you're going to be doing a generic talking just about the UBD process. So you'll want to scroll, and you'll want to get to stage 1, because that's where you're going to start. When you open up the Word document, you want to size it down, because normally a Word document is going to fill the whole screen, and that's too big, and the video results in being too large. So make it a little bit smaller so that on the sides that there's a lot less of that gray space, and then you're going to be scrolling as you record it. All right, so you've got the application open, so then you need to go ahead and launch Camtasia, which I will go ahead and do now. And then once you have Camtasia open, you click in the upper left-hand corner and you click on record. And when that comes up, you get the options. And you're going to come over here and tell Camtasia where you want to record. In this case, it is not the full screen, but the region. And you're going to select just the Word document in the white area, because you don't want that gray area to show, because you're just going to be showing information on the Word document. So you select region, and then your mouse turns into a pointer and you drag and select it. The next thing is for the webcam, you turn it off because that's not a requirement. And then for the microphone, you're going to click the down arrow and you're going to select the microphone that you want to use. I can't do it in this particular video because I'm already recording the audio for the tutorial. So I will leave it off for this video, but when you do yours, you need to turn it on, and you do not want system audio either. So that will be turned off. So the only thing that's different here is you will have your microphone turned on, and verify that it's turned on. As a matter of fact, I would recommend doing a short recording, going back and watching it, and just doing a quality check before you do the whole recording. Once you have it set up okay, go ahead and click record. It will do a countdown, and then you start the recording. So I'll click record, counts down, and you will go ahead. Now I'm going to move this out, the little on off, moves it out of the way. And then all of this in the beginning is extra stuff that you won't need. So what I usually do is get it all set up, get the screen going, the recording is happening, knowing that I'm going to electronically cut off this beginning. But how do I know that, where that happens? What I usually do is, once I'm all ready and I have a drink, I'm quiet for 10 seconds, so that when you can look on the recording, you see about 10 seconds of quiet on the volume level, and you know to electronically cut from the left of that. So I'll be quiet for a few seconds and then get started. All right, you'll welcome people to your video. You'll talk about UBD stage 1, tell everybody what it's about. And then there are specific requirements that you need for this. So you're going to go through the Word document, and bear with me, here we go. And you're going to just scroll through it, and you'll talk about the course unit, and then you'll scroll and you do the unit summary. And then you'll talk about the importance of having a professional organization, the fact that that's where you get your competencies and standards from. And then you'll talk about standards and competencies, and what that means, and the importance of having standards and competencies. You'll talk about what transfer is, and people won't know. Imagine you're talking to somebody that has no idea what you're talking to them about. So you have to, and don't just read what's on here on the screen. You need to have a cheat sheet. You need to have read it. You need to be able to explain it in your own word. What is transfer so that somebody understands it? And then you're going to be able to explain what you put here and the importance of the codes. Then you're going to explain it again in your own words, not reading from here, what meaning making is, what essential questions are, what understandings are. Then you're going to come down here. You want to pause this long enough so that you can go in and do some arrows and highlighting, and so that people can read what's on the screen. So you'll get to the point where, and then you pause it so that people can read it. The point that you're going to discuss, talk about what acquisitions are and what knowledge is. And again, put it in your own words, scroll, and then pause so they can see on the screen what skills are. And then you're done. Now, let's say that you keep scrolling and you inadvertently go too far, which you might be. So let's say you inadvertently get to stage 2. Well, that's okay, because remember, at the end, what you'll do is that you're going to electronically cut off the beginning and the end, which we'll do. And so what happens when you're done with Camtasia, you have this little monitor here. We're going to come over here and we will stop that video. And what happens is it renders and it puts it into the Camtasia editor window. So we have the first part done. You've created the video. So let me look at my cheat sheet. All right. So now we need to do the simple editing. Remember, we want to trim from the front, from the beginning, trim from the end. And usually when I do the trimming, I come over here and you can do the zoom to make it either bigger or smaller. And that's helpful so that you can come down here and see. And if I select this, you can go ahead and hit play and get to the point, and it's going to be, you can play, and you can get to the point where you, here where you want to make the change. So you just have to imagine with me, let's say it's about right here. There's several ways to do simple edits. I'm going to show you both. So in this case, let's say it's this amount that you want to get rid of. So this is the playhead, and to the left and the right, you have playhead extender. So I'm going to drag this little green area to the right. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say delete, and then you can drag the video to the left. And then I'm going to make this smaller. And then let's say you put the playhead here and you want to delete this to the right. Now you could do the same thing, dragging the playhead and then delete. But another way to do it is hit the split icon, which is right here. And then I can click on the end of it, and I can click there and hit delete. And so we've deleted that. All righty. So we did the simple editing. Now we're going to go ahead and add music. You have a requirement to add music on the front and the end. I would recommend keeping it the same so you have consistency. Music does not have a lot of great options in it, but I will show you that you go to the library and you can go to audio, and there are a couple of songs in there. They're not great, but if these do not suit your needs, you have the ability to go down here and click on download more assets. And if you created an account, which you should have, you have access to these. So, here we are, we're logged into the TechSmith assets for Camtasia. And so we're going to go down here and browse all customizable. And for this class, we're going with the free assets. There are ones you can purchase. So I'm going to go ahead and select audio music. I'm going to turn off the premium and only go with the starter, which are the free, and then click on apply. And these are our options. So it's only, I'm going to scroll down here, not a whole lot of them. And what you can do is you can just put your mouse over it and it gives you a preview until you can find one that you like. And I have to say, there are not a lot of great ones. This is one that's gotten worse. So you find one that you like. Bear with me. I'm going to do that one. Toontown Upbeat. So you find the one that you want and you're all set to go. Now to do this, I'm going to recommend going into Camtasia and going into the library and click your little down here under library and select go ahead and create new library, which is basically just a folder. And I would recommend creating a folder called music and start, which I've already done. And I'm going to come over here to library. I'll hit cancel, library, and I will close this audio up. And the ones I want to show you are, oh, you go up here. That's right. You click up here and it's music right there. So we're good to go. So you come back to the website, and this is the one we want. And we're going to say send to Camtasia, and it automatically sends it to Camtasia, which is really nice to have that connectivity. Where it sends it to, it's not the most intuitive in the world, is it comes down here and it puts it in the library, but under downloads. So you can leave it there if you want, but just to keep it organized, I recommend coming back over here and then selecting move to, and then going over there and put it in library. So now when you go to the library and you click on music, you can see that it adds it and it keeps it nice and neat and all together. All right, so we're ready to add the music. So don't worry about okay, now we're ready to go ahead and add the music. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the video that we've recorded and I'm going to move it over here, put the placeholder way over at the beginning. Make that a little bit smaller so it's easy to see. And I'm going to move it over to the left just to make room for it. And then I'm going to take the music and drag it down. I'm going to put it on a different track for now and then get it edited. I will add it. So you can just take your mouse to the left of where the music ends and it turns into a double-headed arrow where it shortens it. And we're going to go ahead and shorten it. And we will drag the music then at the beginning of it, and I will make it shorter. And then I'm going to copy that music and put the placeholder at the end, the playhead at the end. And then I will go ahead and paste it at the end and drag it down. Okay, so we've added the music at the beginning and the end. The other thing that you need to do is go ahead and add an audio effect. Now, one of the audio you want, if the music is at a certain level and then you go right into the video, it could be a bit jarring. So you want to do what's called a fade out. So the music starts and then gets a little softer. And then at the end, it fades in so that it's not so jarring. So to do these audio effects, you're going to click on more, or it might, be available and select audio effects. And then in audio effects and the fade out, you drag down and you drop it right on it. And then it's going to make it fade out. And we're going to fade in for the music in the end. And then you'll want to go and then click on play and just make sure that it works okay for you. So that is the music. And the other thing we want to do is now we have 3 separate elements. And it makes it difficult managing that timeline. So to make it easier, I'm going to shift click on each one of those. Right click and say group, and then it makes it all one. And if I want to group it so that I can get rid of music or change or whatever I want to do. You can always do that. But for now, if I want to move it to the left, move it to the right, it just makes it so much easier. So that is the music. Now we want to add a title to the front that labels it UBD Stage 1 or UBD Stage 2 or UBD Stage 3, and then a conclusion at the end where thanks for coming or UBD Stage 1 or however you want to close it out. So again, I'm going to move all this to the left and we are going to go ahead and add a title. And again, this is in the library and I will come up and you've got to go back to the Camtasia main library. And it's if you scroll down, it's underneath titles. Now, quite honestly, there are some better titles, and they call them outros for the ending in the Camtasia assets library, the free online library. So if you want to go get it from there, I would actually recommend that you do that. But for today's demo, I'll just show you how to do it in the regular library. So how you do this is you go through it, you double click on each one of these, and you get a preview of what it looks like. And you can go in there and customize the text and customize the colors. So we will go ahead and find the one that you want, look at a couple. And the one that I'm going to use is one of these, never do the lower thirds, that's, at the bottom. I'm going to do this Streamer 7. So I like it. I'm going to drag it down here and you can size it so that it lasts a little bit longer, and you can click on it and you get the properties over here on the right upper, right hand corner. So I'm going to change the text and I'll change the first one to UBD. And the second title I'm going to do is stage number 1. And I don't want the third title, so I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to delete the headline. I'm going to delete anything with Camtasia in it. And I don't really like those colors, so I'm going to change it to green and black and gray. All right, let's see what we have. So I will click preview and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's exact. Oh, the only thing, I don't like those kind of at the end of it. So first of all, you have the ability to, I'm going to make this timeline a little bit bigger so that I can edit this a little bit better. And I'll play it and stop it as soon as I'm done with the whoops. Okay, so we'll play it. And I think it's this section at the end I don't like. Yeah, I don't like those. So what I can do is take this back. I don't know if you can barely see it, but there's a little line that shows where that portion starts. And I'm gonna, it's selected, so I can do the split and I can say I don't want that second section. I will drag this to the bottom so that we're on the same timeline. I'm going to scroll this over to the left and I'm gonna copy this. And in this case, I'm gonna do it at the end too. Now you probably wanna do you know what? I think I want to do that with the music. So you know what you can do? You can right click and ungroup. So if you wanted to do the music separately and then drag this down, I'm going to then do the music with that and drag it over and drag this over and do the music with that. So then the music will be playing with the title. So you want to, just play around with it. I'm going to click play and do a preview. The music's playing. You guys probably can't hear that music. But yeah, I like that. and make sure that the audio effects, the fade out is added to the music, and that's much better. Okay, there you go. All right, we've got the title and the closing slide. When you're recording this screenshot video, I'm going to recommend recording the audio while you do the demonstration at the same time. This assignment is intentionally designed to kind of push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Most students at this point are, they want to be perfect. They want every word to be exact, precise. But sometimes it's important to be able to be quick and be productive and be able to understand the content enough to be able to explain it. And that's why I would like you guys to record it while you're doing the audio. Sometimes you need to do lots of recordings, but if you absolutely can't do that, I do have instructions on how to add audio narration. And that would be coming down here and selecting voice narration, and then you would add it that way. But that is, I would really prefer you to record as you're doing the screenshot video. So the instructions are there if you have to do it. Okay, lower third title element. In the assignment instructions, there are, let me show you this. For each stage, there are specific things that you are required to discuss to demonstrate your mastery, that you understand UBD stage 1, UBD stage 2, and UBD stage 3. So for example, when you go back to week 2, you'll be doing this UBD stage 1. You need to do the overview of the stage, professional organization, standards or competencies, transfer. There's 10 different things. And you're going to show that to me. It's going to be demonstrated in 3 ways. Number 1, you're going to be showing and talking about it. That's the first way. The second way, we're going to go back in, you are going to go back in and add lower third elements. Lower third elements are when you start talking about professional organization, you'll add this little title at the bottom of the screen that's labeled professional organization. And then the third thing you're going to do is add a chapter marker. It's called a table of contents marker, so that when you publish to YouTube, you'll have these 10 items listed as a table of contents that you discuss in that video. So that way we can be assured that you talked about those 10 items. So here's how you do that. You would again come back into Camtasia, and you have this video, and let's say this is the point that you're going to talk about, the very first thing, overview of UBD. So to do that, first you're going to add the lower third marker title, and that is in library. And you will come back up here. It's under the titles. So I will contract that and then expand it. And then what you want to do is scroll down and look for the ones that are actually labeled lower third. So you can go ahead and double click on it, and it gives you a video, and that one looks good for me. The only thing I don't like about that is the pink, and I also need something with a background because it's going to be on white text. So let's look at some more. I'll look at a few more. Yeah, let's do that one. Well, let me look for one more. Actually, I like that one best of all. We're going to do lower third 4. We'll do that one. So you put the playhead where you want it to be. That's going to be right at the beginning. And this is going to be on a separate timeline. So you will drag it down and put it onto the timeline. You can make it last longer or shorter. You can make the timeline a little bit bigger so that you can be more precise with it. Then you click on it and you can come up here and edit it. So in the title, in this one, there are several places you can make the edits. So I'll do UBD on the first one, and then the subtitle, maybe UBD, and you might have to play with this a little bit. I'll say stage number 1, and then under the subtitles, I'm going to put overview. You can, I don't want anything Camtasia on it. I'll take that out. And in the color, we'll try this and see how it works. So how do you know it works is you hit play. Yeah, I like that actually. Okay, we're going to go with that. Sounds good. Now, to make your life easy, you want to be consistent for the whole, you can make it shorter if you need to. It should last the whole time you're talking about that. But remember, there's 10 different items you need to talk about that. So what you can do is just copy and paste for what you want to do. So I'm going to right click and copy. And the next time you need to do a lower third, we'll go ahead and put it here and click on it. And this is going to be UBD stage 1. And let's say this one is standards. Okay, so again, put the place head where you want to do, copy it there. And let's say this one is transfer. So you add, there's 10 elements. There should be 10 lower third items when it's all said and done. Now you need to go back in and add the table of contents markers. And that's really easy because you know exactly where it is. So you put the placeholder where you need it to be. And to do these markers, to add a table of contents, you will only see it when you publish it to YouTube. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. I think the easiest way is to do, hold down your shift key and hit an M, and that's going to be different on a Mac, but that's how you do it on the PC. So think of these as table of contents chapter headers. And then you're going to go in there and name these markers or chapter headers. And this one would be overview. And you want to keep these very short. So we're going to come over here and Shift M. And I forget this one. Was this standards? I forget how it went in order. Forgive me if I'm getting these wrong. And then click on the third one and Shift M. And I forget, was this transfer? Okay, so you will not see these chapters. What happens is when you publish it to YouTube, it's listed below so that you're talking about the 10 different things. The screen showing the 10 different things. The lower third has it marked as each 10 different thing, and you've got the table of contents. So that's really, really making sure each of those 10 things is talked about. So we've got the table of contents. Now I want you to go in there and add some call outs. And so when we go to different spots on it, okay, as you're talking about the different areas, I want you to add some call outs. And where you find the call outs is you click over here on the left and you click on annotations. Actually, they're called annotations. There are several different types of annotations and that you can add. The first one is called the call outs tab. And on these, so we'll click the different one. If you wanted to add an arrow that points to something and says, click here or something. So that's one. Another one you can add is different types of arrows, and these are a little bit smaller that you can add. Another one, I use these quite often, is if you want to highlight a certain area. So let's say you want to star a certain area, say, hey, look where the star is. Or the other one is if you want to put like a rectangle around it to say, all right, we're talking about transfer now. And you don't want white on white. So under the outline, I'm going to change that to green. And under the thickness, we'll make it a lot thicker. So, there you go. And that's what it looks like there. You can make these longer so they last on the screen or shorter. You can copy them to reuse them. And the last thing I wanted to show is another one of these annotations is blur. And I've seen students use this really effectively. If you just want to talk about one part of the screen and it's a busy screen and you want to blur out part of it, or it's sensitive information, you can drag the blur over and resize it on the screen. So, you know, when you get it, let's see, you want to just, you only want to talk about this information on the right. You can blur it out so that you can't see it. So those are several different ways that you can add annotations to your screen to bring attention to the part that you want to talk about. And we added the title to the beginning and the end. So there's the conclusion. Now you need to add some captioning to your video. Your videos need to have captions added to meet accessibility requirements. If you upload them to YouTube without previously adding captions, YouTube will use its tools to add captions automatically. Unfortunately, the YouTube auto captioning tool is not accurate enough to meet accessibility requirements because it does not incorporate grammar, periods, and capitalization. You should use the TechSmith Camtasia auto captioning tool to create captions before uploading them to YouTube because the Camtasia tool is much more accurate. While Camtasia captions won't be perfect, you can quickly check the transcript and make the changes as needed. You should finish your video. Then the last thing you do is add captions using the Camtasia tool. You should add closed captions, not dynamic captions, so the viewer has the ability to turn captions on or off using their video player control. To do this, first, finish your video, add closed captions, should be your final and last step. Then you should click on captions on the left side menu. Then click on CC at the top left tab. Then click the small white wheel and select speech to text. Then select entire timeline and be patient while the tool automatically transcribes your text narration. Note, you might need to select enable to start auto transcription tool. Edit captions. Then review the text captions that were added that should show. In the captions window, fix any incorrect auto captioning. The captioning added by Camtasia will replace the YouTube captioning and provide much higher accuracy. You will know the Camtasia captions were successfully added by clicking CC at the bottom corner of your YouTube video and seeing some Camtasia in the upper left corner instead of English auto-generated. The editable captions are found beneath the slides and not the left menu bar. If you're clicking and it's not editable, you are clicking in the wrong place. Review the text and fix any typos, spelling errors, and incorrect text. So now you're ready to finish your project. You need to upload to YouTube. You go up here in the upper right, you click on export, and you come down and you select YouTube. And then when the YouTube window comes up, you're going to give it a title. You're going to give it a description. Make sure that you set it to public, and then you're going to go ahead and click on export. You export it, and the project goes to YouTube. And when it goes to YouTube, you need to click on share and get the embed code to go ahead and do it. So let me try this one more time. Export, YouTube. You fill out the title. So then when it gets to YouTube, at first it will say that it's processing, and you just need to keep refreshing the screen. And then you need to come over here and click on share and click on embed and get the embed code and click on copy there. And this is the embed code that you will use to go back and add it to your Google Sites electronic portfolio. And the directions about how to,
Hey, Dad,
and the directions about how to upload it to your electronic portfolio are included in your step-by-step instructions for Pilot. So let me look at my notes to see if I'm forgetting anything. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's how you create your Camtasia video. I look forward to reading them. Bye.